The French government has rejected a new demand from unions to reconsider the wildly unpopular pension plan.
That's right, and this comes as protests and strikes across France enter their 10th day. Take a look at this. Hundreds of thousands of demonstrators are staging generally peaceful marches around the nation. However, we've seen some clashes between police and protesters break out in some areas. Several more arrests being made today, in fact. Residents are rallying against French President Emmanuel Macron's proposal to raise the retirement age for most workers from 62 to 64.
Joining us now from Paris is CBS News correspondent Elaine Cobbe. Elaine, tell us what you're seeing on this 10th day. Gosh, it feels like it's so much longer. I feel like I've been seeing the protests for longer, but this 10th day of intense demonstrations all across France.
Lilia, the numbers on the streets are down today across the country. However, those who were protesting say they are still determined to see the unpopular reforms scrapped. The protests have been largely calmer too, although there's a huge police presence, some 13,000 officers deployed around France. The strikes were more successful, with disruptions in transport, energy and education in particular. And it's been a bad day in Paris if you're a tourist, because the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre Museum and the Versailles Palace are all closed by striking workers.
But I guess that's the point, right? That workers don't like being forced to have to work longer, despite the fact that Emmanuel Macron pushed this through Parliament without real debate, without listening to the will of the people. So what can you tell us about this new demand unions have put forward to the French government, and tell us why officials rejected it?
The unions asked for the government to suspend the reform bill and to rethink parts of it and to negotiate through a mediator. But the bill has already passed through, forced through, and is with the Constitutional Council right now, which is vetting it and will approve it. That will happen within the next few weeks, unless it finds a problem and sends it back to Parliament. And the government spokesman today said, we don't need to speak through a mediator. We can talk directly any time, but not until after the Constitutional Council has rubber-stamped the bill. And even then, the government is saying, look, we're happy to talk about the wider issue of labour reforms, but the pension reforms are going through and will come into effect in September.
Wow.
Elaine, one of the most, I don't know if I can call it effective, I'm no one to qualify it, but striking methods of protest was those garbage bags that you would see in all the tourist spots across Paris. I understand that the garbage workers in Paris, their union, are suspending that 3-week-long strike tomorrow. What does that mean? Why are they doing that? Is the tide turning?
Parisians are delighted that that is going to happen, because it's not just the tourist spots, it's absolutely everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere,
There
right.
is so much trash gathered around the city. There are rats, there are flies in buildings, on the 7th floor of a building because of the garbage down below that's been there for so long. So it will take days to clear it all away once the workers go back from tomorrow and they've lifted their blockade on the incinerators. But that is just one sector. Other sectors were out in force today. Transport in particular continues to have a very good following among strikers. For example, in the Gare de Lyon in Paris today, train drivers walked down the railway tracks to stop all traffic, and small airports were blocked by striking employees. So it is still too soon to say if the tide is turning.
Well, Elaine,
interesting stuff.
Thank you so much. It looks smelly from here.
Elaine, thank you.